excited. This is going to be a great interview.
Yeah.
Yes, we are
I
live.
hope so. I hope I make sense.
Oh, you will make absolute
I
sense.
hope I can win some hearts here.
Hey, everybody, this is True Powers Mine. Welcome to the show. This is TPIM, SR Live. Today is I'm so humbled, so honored, so thankful yet again to Brother Fixico for introducing me to Queen Fidelia Graand Galon. Galon, a Maroon Queen, a fabulous person, very knowledgeable. She's coming all the way from the Caribbeans today, and I hope that you guys will all find something to think about and reflect upon after this conversation. Fidelia, you're there?
Yes, I'm here.
Excellent.
I'm here. And I want to say, because it's morning in our Maroon way, we would say, Uwekyo alasama. So, everybody, good morning.
Good morning. And for the viewers, she is also a doctor and an ambassador. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you will be attending the UN conference actually later on this month.
Yes, what we are doing, we have seek some space to speak and to talk about our cause at the UN Forum for Indigenous People. It's an annual event, but this is the first time we as Maroons, descendants of the successful freedom fighters from the atrocities of slavery, is the first time we will come on our own and to speak about us.
Now, let's go into some issues that the Maroons are facing today. Maybe their
Yes.
family issues, economic issues. Could you just hit us with some of the issues?
Well, we have a lot of issues. In the first place, we have integration issues that is social, cultural. We have economic issues, which is the biggest one. We have education issues. Education is very important for people
Yes.
to advance, to live. And we
Yes.
have economical issues. And we have issues where people keep us and use the knowledge that they have of us to advance themselves in society and in the world.
Yes. And leave us behind as they do it.
Yes, as they do it, it seems like we are so ignorant, we cannot speak out of ourselves. And even if we work among them, even you might be university educated professor or expert, you are still a maroon and you are still ignorant.
Right. So how many Maroons are there left? Like a
Well,
population?
for Suriname, that is the country I come from, is the Dutch speaking Guyana. We have in Suriname about 200,000 Maroons, about
Wow.
200,000, might be more. But at the sense, and we are now about the second largest ethnic group of Suriname, and we live in tribal community. We have six tribes. Each of us have our king, and we live like Africa in the days in the history times, is in the time of when they left Africa. So we retained a lot. Our governing system, our inheritance system is like the African way still. Even if we are educated, we still live that life. We speak our own languages derived from languages of Africa.
Wow. So you retain like all the medicine knowledge of the old days. Putting herbs together.
Yes, we retain the medicine knowledge, and we retain the midwife knowledge as well.
Yes.
Even if you have a baby that is born like 7 months or 6 months, we keep that baby alive. I myself did that research for a health organization as a social scientist, and I was amazed of what I discovered. We have medicine. We know how to work with the mother and the baby. And even if we don't have any hospital there, a baby that is premature born, we keep her warm
Yes.
and we feed her.
And the funny thing you say that now, here we live here in the United States of America, they make laws that says if that baby's heart's beating, they could kill it. And here you are out without medical facilities, but you're doing the right. Every life is precious. Preemie life,
Every life is precious.
whatever you want to call it, it is precious. And I am so thankful, sister, that it's in you to do the work that you do on this level exclusively, and all the other levels in particular, but on this level with the babies, with getting the knowledge from the elders, keeping that knowledge alive, and sharing that knowledge with younger more women coming up. That's beautiful. Maroon, not Moorish, but maroon women coming up.
Yes,
That is beautiful.
because Maroon women in Suriname have more babies than every other ethnic group. And we are still making a lot of babies. I'm sorry. We love to have life. We are
Yes.
pro-life. We
Yes.
are pro-life. And I can tell you something that is blowing people's mind away. If you have a broken bone, we can mend it. I have an uncle that is practicing it as we speak.
Wow. So he can use
Broken bone
traditional method.
from car accident. Come to him. He will cure you with herbs that they have retained knowledge of. And what happens? There was an organization, United States based, that came to find the hit of the herbs that we use to cure and to mend the bones. They could not find the hit
And then
because
because
they did not sell their knowledge. They
yes.
didn't give it.
Yeah, listen, I'm not for being stingy, okay? I'm not for being stingy, but I am for keeping knowledge to self because if you give this knowledge to certain people, they're going to do is dumb down your people, make some sort of medicine, and make your people pay for the medicine, but they could have it all alone if they just would have listened to the ancestor.
Exactly. And guess what? Maroons can read the intention of people that come to their society in Suriname
Wow. So,
because they know you want to know. And what they are saying, because of the fact that they were forced out of their ancestor land of Africa, people cannot force them again to
yes,
give themselves away, to give their soul away.
yes. Can we talk about that? The spiritual side. Because I really believe
Yeah.
that a lot of our problem in this world, in your country that you may be living in, and in the community you may be living in, is there's a lack of spiritual awakening and spiritual empowerment with the common person.
Yes.
N-
What we do have is that spirituality, people are thinking of Maroon people of having a knowledge of the spirituality that is not like having one God. But let me tell you one thing. We are God serving people with a
Yes.
lot of practices of God that we call those gods in the names they do it. Let me tell you something. I'm a Pentecostal Christian and I do a gospel program in my language. But guess what?
What?
I I know we are serving gods. We have a god name called Ayonki Penu, means the God of love, as we use it. As
Could you?
people say God is a God of love. Guess what? The African name is Ayonki Penu. We know how to
Ayonki
praise
Pinu.
God. And they have a name for God that created the earth and everything. We call him Kedwama, Kedwampong. And it's used
Wow.
by us. But what happened? Western people is coming and telling you, oh, that is the devil. It's not the devil. It's God we serve.
Yes, the Most High, the Most High God, the one that created all things, and without there would be nothing.
That's nothing. Guess how we call it? We call it the Most High God. And you will hear me yell all the time when something is happening that amazes me or whatever. I will say God, God, meaning Most High God. And people would tell you, Christian would tell you, don't say it. It is the devil, but it's not the devil.
Right.
That is God we know. We have knowledge spiritually. You know, we are unclean when you have your period as a woman. The
Yes.
Bible write about this. Guess what? In my maroon community, when you are unclean, you don't sleep in the house. You sleep at the hut at the corner of the village nearby the forest. We call it munosu, meaning monthly house. That is,
Yes.
if you go and read the Bible, you find the same thing. But they didn't get it from the Bible. They got it from God.
Exact. That. Thank you, sister. That's what it's about. And I tell the young men on my show, on this show, because in Western society or United States society, we don't have homes like that for your female. So it's up to these young men to understand when your wife is on that time of month, leave her alone. Don't try to do nothing because it's not right.
Yes,
It's dirty.
it's not right. So they should hear it from the maroon man. Come to our villages. I'm inviting all because in Suriname we see more Caucasian American coming visiting our country. They are the anthropologists that are studying us. We
Yes.
don't see our black brothers. But thank God I met some of them of the Black Chambers of Commerce. And one of them made it possible. He lives in Mississippi. His name is J.R. Jones. He paid my ticket to come to this UN event. He's my sponsor. I
Wow.
thank God for him. And I thank America for understanding as well.
Does this gentleman in Mississippi have a business, or is there any way that folks up here
He
we
has
should?
a business. He's a businessman.
That's outstanding.
He's member of the Black Chambers of Commerce.
Well, I would try to. I would actually try to after the show get your information and maybe we can get him on the show and get his message out there because we need more people helping each other. We're gonna have to help each other, Sister Queen. We're gonna have to help one another. We're gonna have to
We have
preach.
to. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, my brother. You know what? When I became ambassador for my country in Trinidad and Tobago, I've discovered a network of the India descendants called Gopio International, where they network scholarship and
Yes.
in business, in everything they are working together. So the cause that we have now is to help ourselves out with
Yes.
knowledge and with whatever we have to associate with one another in the Western Hemisphere. Because I had a lot of hard time, my brother, being where I am.
Yes.
And guess what? We have two groups of blacks in my country, the Creoles and the Maroons. And they gave us a nickname that I've seen this Mr. Alex Haley wrote about us, and they did not call us Maroon. They call us Juka.
Chuka.
And Juka means Jewish folk. I'm sorry, but that is the name. and they still call us that name. It's very derogative, but we could not read and write.
Right.
It's only when my generation start reading and writing, we are changing it now. We choose to call ourselves maroon, and they don't want us to call ourselves maroons.
Because they don't want you to tap into that power of that word. Maroon implies freedom fighter. Maroon implies I'm not going to be a good slave. I'm going to be a very difficult slave. In fact, I'm going to be such a difficult slave, you're going to want me to leave your stupid little plantation because I'm going to affect all the other
Oh God,
slaves.
yes,
I love it.
yes,
I love it. Keep with it.
exactly. That's what it is. And in our keynote address, we highlight this as well. What it means. I had to fight for the maroon community in my country. And you know what they do? They use ourselves against ourselves,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know, in many ways. And it is now fashion in my country that we all are Afro Surinamese people, and you have Afro Surinamese people of the hinterland,
Hinterland.
and you should not use the name maroon. What I told them in an interview is that it is wrong, and I am a maroon, and I will remain a maroon, and I will always call myself. And with me, a lot of other maroons are using the name maroon. Because when you say maroon of the hinterland, and if I live in town, Afro descendants of the hinterland, I'm living in town. Who am I then? Afro descendant of town. So we are no maroons anymore. We cannot connect. And that is not
Right.
going to happen. So the
Yes.
fight have to be fought, and we need to fight it united internationally.
Correct. Because we're all in this battle together, my sister. We are
We are.
all in this battle together. I don't care if you want to call yourself Portuguese, you want to call yourself Japanese, you want to call yourself African, Kemetic. It does not matter. There is a global effort to eradicate us off of the planet that is our planet to begin with. This is
Yes.
our home. And I'm not saying that we should be like them and try to kill them. No, no, no. This is our home. This is our cosmic home, the earth, the very ball me and you are
Yes.
sitting on right now and discussing, talking. This is our
Yes.
galaxy, universal cosmic home. Let's treat each other. When I come to your home as a guest, you don't try to warp my mind and distort my soul. When you come to my home as a
No.
guest, I don't try to poison your food and poison your air and harm your children. That's
No.
not the proper way
That's it.
for us to be.
Exactly. You speak my language, brother.
Thank you,
I
good
don't know
sister.
why I meet you right now, but we it seems like we met each other somewhere.
Yes,
So that is why the energy comes out to fight the good fight. And we are
yes.
not fighting a fight to lose. We're fighting to win. Maroons
Yes.
never lose their fight.
Mm,
If you come to my country, you will see the mountains, the rapids, and the waterfalls that our ancestors conquered to have their own community and
yes.
to have me here right now. You see, my father did not want me to have Western education
Mm,
because he says, I won't have the African way of life anymore. My mother says, I want my daughter to read. And guess what? I was born in a small village, maroon village. And then nuns came to recruit children to go to school in the 60s. And my mom ran to the nun and asked her, can my daughter go to school? She says, yes. I was 5 years old and I went to school. And my father challenged me up until I was 19 years old to say, you will be
wow.
nothing. And I took that as a winning challenge. And I was the first one of our maroon region to graduate from the university. And I traveled choose in my teen years to do sociology because it studies community
Yes.
and society. And I wanted to be an eye opener to tell everybody we are one. No one is more than another.
Right.
And that is why I grew up with it. And my father, I love him for challenging me that I would do nothing. And guess what? In 2007, I was they swear me in as the first Maroon ambassador ever for Suriname. Ambassador for Suriname from Maroon descent. That is the fight that we fight. I thought I could not be an ambassador, but guess what? Protocol and diplomacy comes from Maroon, comes from the tribes. I could
Yes.
work because my father was a chief of his village. So I'm a chief's daughter as well.
Wow.
And my mother is an assistant to the chief. So I come from that type of family in Maroon society.
That's just so that is so beautiful. See the fighting spirit, the essence of you. You know, you fight the good fight, even if you have to go against family and say, no, 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 Poppy, no, 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 Daddy. I want to read. I want to help the community, help my people. See, your father was scared that you would get into those Western nonsense and turn your back on tradition. No, I want to go to
That's
New
what
York.
that's what he didn't want me to be. And guess
Right.
what? I found it together with another Maroon woman, Maroon Women's Network. And we're still fighting because I wanted my father to be proud of me.
Yes.
And he was proud before he died because they had me on TV to ask how come a Maroon girl can become a doctorandus, the highest level at a university. How come? And I had to tell because of my daddy and my mommy. My mommy that was not afraid of daddy challenged daddy. And my daddy that was not afraid to challenge me, to tell me you're not becoming like them.
Mm, I love it. I love it because what you were doing, you know, we know Maroons are good with fighting physical, but you were fighting against ignorance. You were fighting against not being able to read, not being
Yes.
illiterate. And you won, sister. You won. And it's proof.
No, my father thanked me. He said, you know what my daddy said? That's how Maroon men are. I look like him. I'm their firstborn. And he says, because you look like me, you're as dark as I am. That's why you're smart. Dark people are smarter than lighter complexions. That's how he translated it. And he says, my thesis is his thesis because he had it put in my mind. So everything that I portray is him.
Wow. See, this is what
That's a
we're
Maroon
talking
man.
about. That's the essence, though. This is the essence of life. Our spirits come directly from our mother and father, and that's why it's important for us to have respect for the ancestors. I'm not saying worship ancestors. I'm saying respect, because I do believe, sister,
Yes.
as long as we are alive, as long as you and I, mom, dad, brothers, sisters, no one's dead because they live in our minds. They live in our hearts. They live in our very structure of our bodies, and we carry these memories with us. But we have to move to the future together, hand in hand. If I get hit, the
And you
blood
know,
hits you.
I love what you're saying because that is confirming things that I had a lecture in the Netherlands, The Hague, in 2001 on Marinage, the alternative for sustainable development. Marinage techniques and tactics can still be used for sustainable development, for a sound mindset, for a sound approach to life and to overcome.
Yes, that's our whole mission. Our whole mission. Our mission isn't to dominate and harm people. No, our mission is
No.
to enrich this thing that we call life. To if I'm walking down the street and I see a little boy or girl and they're obviously hungry and thirsty, my mission isn't to walk by them and just say derogatory things. My mission is to find some water and find some bread and meat or fruit and vegetables and give this child or man or woman so that they can enjoy life without
Yes.
suffering.
That's it, my brother. And guess what? We are the most talented people of the world because we have arts, maroons of Suriname, because we were talking with science to overcome. I know the
Yes.
American way to overcome was by the songs that they were singing, the spiritual, the Negro spiritual.
Yes.
Guess what? We had it in Suriname, but not only that, we had the beat of the drum, and we call it a
Yes.
pinty beat, a pinty drum.
A
And we are
pinty beat.
still connecting with the drum beat in songs and in dance styles that we still have in Suriname. And we communicate with also signs in words that we are saying, codes that we are using.
Yes.
And these codes are still there.
That's what I'm talking about.
And this system, we have a name for it in Suriname, where we learn and teach and we bring up children. And so we call it Kia, the Kia principles. We have our own ideology. We call it Kia. I'm writing about it, but it takes me like 10 years now. I'm writing about it, but I cannot finish it. But it's very important.
Yes. Yes. And one thing I also want to add about the drum beat. Think about this, sister.
Yeah.
If you're using the same drum beat, you're literally sending out the same vibrations and frequencies that ancestors were tuned into. Now, this is what I'm talking about, not worshiping, but like kind of communing or emulating. That energy flows from generations to generation. Now, if we forget this,
Yes.
Queen Mother, if we
Well,
reject this, then it's to our detriment, not theirs.
guess what? I was at a regional conference for tourism in the Caribbean, and they were in my country, and we just founded the Maroon Women's Network, and I and my partner, Maroon Lady, were invited to do keynote address. And I told them the beat, it's like the ICT waves to connect from a distance. And one of the scholars, ICT specialists say, Madame, the lady that spoke, she's very ignorant because the drum beat has nothing to do with ICT. Guess what? A radio station in my country is using the beat of the drum to to do greetings in the morning when they start the radio program early in the morning. They use that beat, the apinti beat, to say good morning.
That is, see, that's what the enemy don't want. He don't want us
Yes.
to know ourselves. He does, or she, at this point, they don't want us to be in community because when the drum comes, I'm sure a sense of peace and calmness
Oh, yes.
hits you, and that's what
Oh,
they don't
yes.
want us to be. They
And
always want us to be
as you
scared.
say, spirituality, we have in the Maroon Society, we call that beat when someone dies. You know, Christians don't do that beat because we don't want to invoke spirits to come. But to connect, as you have said, we call it, we have a name for it. And we have that beat for it. And we dance that beat. Even we communicate
Well,
with nature. We communicate with the forest. You know that trees can talk. You know that trees has a belly and they have a back. When we do the dugout canoe, if you don't have the knowledge of the back and the belly of the tree, of the tree, your canoe, your dugout canoe will sink all the time, will take you in the river, but in the waters. But if you know where the belly is and where the back is, you will have the best dugout canoe bringing you all over the rapids and the waterfalls.
You know,
That is university knowledge.
but this is the knowledge, ambassador, that people are needing nowadays. People are looking towards all this technology, and it's not fulfilling them in their hearts and in their spirituality. And that's why we're getting these situations where people are going out with these mass shootings. We're getting the situations where men can't talk about problems. No, someone got to get a gun or a knife and kill the other guy because we're not spiritually connected the way a human being should be.
Yeah, so true. Spiritually, we cannot connect. We think violence will free us. Guess what? Violence doesn't free us.
No, it
The
enslaves you.
battle that we fight, that is a freedom battle. When you go into war, it's not a crime. You have crime in war, but our ancestors fought wars that they conquered and lives in peace because they love peace.
Well, peace is what we all seek. Peace is what we all desire. But very few of us actually
Yes.
have peace. We're basically in a state of fear. As long as you don't do this, as long as you don't call yourself maroon, as long as you don't act a certain way, then I'll leave you alone. That's a state of fear. I'm basically intimidating you to not be the person that you desire to be, but to be the good slave I want you to be. And that's where many people are at
Yes.
today.
And we're definitely no slave.
No.
Not even in their modern world.
No, and that's
We're definitely no slave. Let me tell you a history of coming to this cause today. I went and asked government people to how Maroons can be at the forum. They told me no. The regulation of the UN does not allow you to do so. You know what that made me be?
What?
Is to say, okay, it will happen. It energized, it gave me the energy and the fighting spirit together with my sisters from Jamaica, from Trinidad and Tobago, and brother Phil Fixico.
Yes.
And look at us now.
A powerful force to be reckoned with. You guys are shakers and movers. You're going to the United Nations to finally give voice,
Yes.
give light to things that have been in the dark for so many years.
For so hundreds of years.
Yes. This is a very powerful moment, Dr. Ambassador. This is a very, very powerful moment. And the ripples.
I thank Gadu, as we say it, I thank Gadu for that.
So do I. So do I.
Gadu, I thank him for that. He's the most high one, and he wants us to conquer. And we are on the we have to win.
Yes, we do. Now, is there any website that like if we have folks out there, they have a couple of extra bucks, they see what you're doing, they want to, maybe they can't go down to the nation, but they can send some money down there to you. Do you have any website or any way to receive funds?
Well, we have our in whatever. We don't have a website, but we have like pages. Like we have the Maroon Women Maroon Women Network page, and my sisters have their own pages. But website was one of the things that we are working on. But this Maroon Women Chamber of Corporation is now working on a website. But we have our individual accounts that people can call up on, and we can work it out.
Okay, gotcha. Well, when you ever get that website on, let me know, and I'll hit everybody with a press release about it. We'll get some excitement going on with that.
We have to have it.
Yes.
This movement has to have a website. We need to have our own domain for the Maroon Women Chamber of Cooperation because it's not a women organization. Let me explain it. Because of the Maroon Way, the mother has her own chamber. You know, she
Right.
carry children, men and women, in her chamber. When you come out, she still has a chamber where she nourish us together with all the male and female people belonging to her chamber. So cooperation, that is her thing for advancement and everything. That's why the name Maroon Women Chamber of Cooperation. It's not a female added organized. Well, a lot of women are in and men are in as well. We have our brothers from Grenada, or brother from Amadou from Grenada, and we have another brother Gavin from Trinidad, and brother Fixico, and other Maroon brothers in Suriname that are supporting this cause. And in Trinidad and Tobago, our brother Calendar is supporting it. So it's a movement of the African tradition of the matrilineal line. We have also the Patri, but this is the matrilineal one that is working throughout the world.
Wow. See, this is amazing. This is the network that I've always talked about and envisioned. Brothers and sisters working together to better the condition of us all. Because the condition out here, as you know, Dr. Ambassador, isn't very good for many of us.
No.
And this is a
Yes.
continuation of the war that the Maroons were fighting way back. Not way back in the day. I'm not talking about millions of years ago. I'm only talking about a couple hundred years
No.
ago. This is a
That's
continuation of that eugenics
mhm.
genocidal war. And I'm so
That
thankful.
it is continuing. Guess what they are doing sometimes? Sometimes they do C-section for black women not to get a lot of babies.
Yes.
There are a lot of tactics and techniques to make us vanish. But because of the determination of knowing who you are, the strength that you have and that you inherited, we're going in this contemporary fighting and struggle to overcome. So, what we are doing, I was telling my sister of Trinidad and Tobago, so that we take a leap of war that blows people's mind. Like we have the Maroons of Trinidad and Tobago calling themselves Americans. They fled slavery from the United States of America and went overseas to come in Trinidad and Tobago. And then you have the Sierra Leone Maroons that left the Americas and find themselves in Africa. It's a long walk to victory. It's a long walk to freedom. When we talk reparation, you need to look the Maronash reparation. That is the tactic. And they have repaired the life. Sometimes we talk of reparation like we need money. Money does not repair us.
Right. Right.
Yes, we need money, but reparation is deep, is spiritual, is being yourself, what you were, what your ancestors were, their living condition, the freedom that they are had as the people, like all that you mentioned, the Japanese are, they own this earth. We own it as well. We own
Yes.
it again. And what the Maroons did, they went back and owned their space again. That is reparation. Even if it is not in Africa, but in the countries that we are living, we repaired our lifestyle.
Yes. And I love what you said about the land. If you don't own the land beneath your feet, then you own nothing. You have nothing.
That's it.
What?
We own land. And and they take the land back from us through laws, through a lot of laws that are being created to win back to have back the land, not to win, but to have the land that we conquered and that blood fled for.
Mm.
And that is the fight we fight because there are the ILO at the 169 the 169 convention where tribal people should own the land they live in for ages. And we are still fighting. A lot of us are still fighting, especially Suriname is still fighting the fight. And we are living on land that has a lot of gold, a lot of diamond, a lot of everything. So the struggle goes on.
And on and on. But that's why we are here, so that we can stand up and do the right thing and
We
fight.
are doing the right thing now,
I am so
and I'm
I'm,
excited. And I thank Brother Fixico. I call him Da Pompi because of the Maroon Protocol. I cannot call him brother. He's like a father figure. So I say Da. Da means daddy, father, right?
right.
So he's Da Pompi. That is how I call him, my big brother. And the connection with you, I really do appreciate it. To give us the forum to voice ourselves so that people can hear that Maroons are not ignorant people. They are not Jukas like they call the Surinamese one. They are real people and they are aware of their circumstances and they refuse to remain in a deprived circumstance and to be looking at as ignorant people because they are filled with wisdom.
Yes. So well said. So well said. I just want to go on the record, Ambassador. I want to have you back whenever you
Yeah,
have press releases. Don't think of CNN. Don't think of Fox News. Don't think of Al Jazeera. Don't think of none of that. Think of SR Live. We are here for you. You got my personal number and my contact. Contact me
yes, I
directly,
have it.
and we will get you on. We can do a show at a drop of a hat. Now, granted, sometimes I might have the live studio audience, aka my children, in the background. Depending on what time.
That's okay. That's okay. I love them.
Oh,
And we say in Maroon language, "Me love you, Joe," meaning I love you very much.
oh.
Love you, Joe. And I want to thank you for giving us the audience, the live audience, and the other audience. And on behalf of my sisters, Sister Akila, you need to because we would really appreciate to give each one of us, the queens of the Maroon societies that started it, Queen Akila Yaramogi and Gama, who is the paramount chief of the Jamaican people. We would like to have them on your show as well.
Yes. You know what would be awesome? Maybe we can take that Mother's Day and make it ours. In other words, on Mother's Day, if we have the time, if you guys have the time, if you're not, with your families, I can have all of you on at the same time, and we can have like
Wonderful.
a discussion about motherhood, about even though I'm not a woman, but the
Oh
important
yes.
aspects of a woman, the important aspects of
Oh yeah.
womanhood in the struggle and in life. A man is
That's
nothing
so true.
unless he has woman beside him. He is nothing. And I will say that openly. I know that will upset a lot of my brothers. Oh no, wait, no, you are nothing if you have no woman. Because without my wife, I would not have these children. I would not have my four beautiful babies. So women are everything, and men are everything too. When we're talking about the family unit, because that's what we have to focus on: making strong family units.
That's it. I fully agree. I have nothing to add to it. That is so powerful. And I thank you for saying that because, when the chief chiefs in my tribe, when they have a meeting, you know what they say? Women are the boss. We can do nothing without them. I thank you for confirming. But because we want to be led by powerful men, we don't
Yes.
want to be your chief. We want you to be our chief,
That
and we want to have a rightful place.
that is the attitude I'm talking about. You see that? What you rightful place, because by, like I say, a woman's strength is her weakness. If you as a woman is physically not as strong as me, as a man, my strength is there to complement you, not dominate you, but to complement you. And your
No,
weakness and your tenderness is there to complement me. You see,
yes,
we complement each other.
100% yes.
Oh, what a beautiful discussion. I just want to thank you again, Your Excellency, Dr. Ambassador Fidelia Graand Galon. And I'm looking forward. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't want it. She's trying to give me a doll. I don't want your doll. I guess that's supposed to be my grandbaby. It's a dog. It's a stuffed doggy. She's trying to give it to me, but and
Oh God, dogs are beautiful. But
yes,
you're most welcome anytime, and whenever we have something, we will tell you. And
thank you,
and
baby.
we would not leave you alone because we want our cause to be out there, and we want the network for Maroons diaspora. We want the network to establish it firmly with the United Nations and all over the world because we need one another. That
Yes,
is our strength.
that is our greatest strength, and that and this may upset a lot of my religious brothers and sisters, but without group unity, there is no hope for us. We might as well just,
Amen.
you know, throw in the towel. But I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to do everything humanly I can
Okay.
to get the message out, Ambassador. Well, thank you so much. And um, like I said, after the show, give me the information with the brother who's a businessman in Missouri, or not Missouri, but Mississippi. I will reach out to him.
Mississippi.
Yes,
Yes.
R. Jones, I believe, and I will reach out to him and get him on the show just to show him that I respect personally him coming out of pocket. And once again, guys, I hate to sound like this, like I'm some sort of salesman. If you do not invest in liberation, don't be upset when you get none. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm
That's
sorry.
powerful. I will give you his information because I did tell my younger brother, who is an American, he became a naturalized as American. I have my sisters and brothers out there. I want to thank them for their support. I'm the only sister living in Suriname still. I have my American blood sisters, my siblings are Americans. I want to thank you and I want to thank them for the support as well.
Yes.
Because I told them I will be on a show of America and they are all excited. Want to thank all of them and thank you to my brother.
You're welcome, Queen
God
Sister.
will bless you and keep you and advance and empower your show.
Yes, let it be. Let it be. Because this show, as I always say, it's our show. This is the show for the people. I am just a host for
Amen.
now, but I am quite consciously and literally making this thing up to pass on to another brother or sister to sit in the seat and
Thank
carry on.
you.
But I am the first.
Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Well, as always, guys, I
You're
just,
welcome. Have a blessed day.
yes, and I will be talking to you soon.
Okay.
Awesome, awesome interview, guys. That was awesome. Brother Leonard, welcome to the show. Even though it's now over, please play this one back. I know the audio was a little choppy because we had to use Facebook Messenger because of international things. Yeah, I know you keep missing it, brother. But this one's a good one. All of the ones the past 4 days, the studio audience is going nuts here. I have to get them lunch. I want to give a very special thanks to Brother Phil Fixico Father Fixico, as he's known in the Caribbean, a true Maroon soldier and statesman for the Maroon Nation, diligently trying to get the truth out here to folks. But as always, guys, today's date is 4/20, 2019, April 20th, 2019, the year of our Lord. This has been SR Live, TPIM style. As always, live your life with integrity, without hate, envy, or greed. And as always, let's try to be kind to each other. Peace.